Welcome back to the daily segment of Where's My Sock, where I take podcasts and audio terms and define them into plain English to help you along your podcast journey. Hello, my name is Mr. E. Today's term is understanding loudness. Because it sounds fine on my laptop can turn into, why is this so quiet in my car? So what are loudness standards? What is loudness? Loudness standards are guidelines for how loud your finished audio should feel to a listener. So it plays at a consistent level alongside other audio and apps and devices. This is different from a single peak meter. Loudness standards are about the overall perceived volume over time, not just whether one moment gets loud. In other words, it's the difference between nothing clipping and this feels consistently loud enough. So why is this important? Why is there even a term for this? Because listeners don't experience your podcast in a quiet lab. They listen in real places, cars, kitchens, headphones, at the gym, and they bounce between different shows. So if your episode is much quieter than the other podcasts, the listener turns it up. Then the next show blasts them because they're set at a normal level where yours was set at a much quieter level. If your podcast is much louder than other podcasts, it can feel harsh or fatiguing because no one likes to feel like they're getting screamed at the whole time. Here's what you'll probably notice when loudness isn't consistent. You can find yourself in a moment when exporting an episode that looks healthy on the meter, not clipping with plenty of signal, but it still plays considerably quieter than other podcasts. That's because peaks can look fine while overall loudness is low. Loudness is more like average feeling over the episode, and it's influenced by things like compression, limiting, and how you set your final output. So this term usually shows up when you want your show to feel consistent episode after episode and consistent with other podcasts. Wrapping things up, understanding loudness standards means aiming for a consistent listening level, not just no red lights. If you remember one thing, remember this. Peaks tell if you're clipping. Loudness tells you how the episode will feel next to the other audio. Next time, we'll tackle podcast hosting platforms because uploading a podcast isn't the same as uploading a file somewhere and hoping it spreads. If you haven't already, please subscribe to the podcast so you never miss any of this information so that you can be a little bit prepared tomorrow than you were today. And please subscribe to my socials if you haven't already at Where's My Sock. Thank you for listening, and I hope you enjoy the rest of your day, evening, night, whatever it is for you. Enjoy.